In this video, I'm going to review the Rinehart Rhinoblock target that I've shot thousands and thousands of arrows into, as you can see. And I've got a core over there that I need to replace the center of this target with because I'm finally getting some pass-throughs. So I've definitely put this target through its paces, and I'm going to let you know what I think about it. So as I've been shooting here inside of the studio, people make lots of comments actually for whatever reason in the comment section of, where are the arrows going? I don't hear them hitting a target butt. You must be shooting out of window or whatever. And actually I put this Rinehart Rhinoblock up on my safe over in the corner, and it basically is very, very quiet to shoot arrows into. Mostly because it's worn out, number one. Any target that's worn out is very, very quiet for the arrows to go into. But actually, these targets are very quiet to shoot into, and they last not really a lifetime because obviously I've worn it out, but it lasts a very, very long time. I've had this target probably since sometime in the 2013-14 range or so. The target itself is dated 2010, so I don't know when I actually got this target, but I've shot a lot of arrows through it. And generally, I keep it in the core of the target and have worn out the core itself. The rest of the target I've tried to not put arrows into. I've shot broadheads into this, lots of broadheads actually, and I've shot thousands upon thousands of arrows at blank bale when the weather's really nasty or when I just don't feel like going outside to shoot some archery. Even though my training plan is telling me to shoot, you get those days when you just don't want to shoot some arrows. So you kind of want to lower the intensity of the actual training session, so blank bale is a great idea. And that's why I have this target. I've actually flown several times with this target as well, and I've genuinely gone through airports and put luggage tags on these. So like I said, I've shot tons and tons of arrows into this thing, and just like all other Rinehart targets, the arrows pull effortlessly. If you shoot an arrow into this, doesn't matter what kind of arrow it is or what bow it came out of, it's just very, very simple to pull out. And actually, I'll demonstrate that for you really quick. I'm going to shoot one arrow into it. Even though I'm starting to get some pass-throughs, I'm going to shoot it in a little bit of a diagonal. So I just shot this arrow out of my 70-pound bow, and it comes out like nothing. Leaves no residue on the arrows. I've not really had any issues. The only time that arrows are hard to pull out of this bale is if you, for whatever reason, shoot through this tube. You can see on this replacement core here, I've got this clear tube that's going through the actual core itself, because that helps lock the tube in the actual target butt. So you'll see it goes in from here, it goes in and comes out the other side at a diagonal through the core itself. And so yeah, if you shoot through that, it's a bit difficult to pull the arrows out from time to time, but overall it's not too bad. I would also take this target with me. As you can see, it's got these dots here on the sides to shoot one arrow into, and you can see I have, pretty much one hole that each arrow has gone into throughout the years, because I'll stand at a given distance and I'll aim one arrow at each dot so I don't break my arrows, and I try to put the arrow in the same exact arrow hole every single time as a bit of a game, a training game if I need to, because sometimes I just can't get to an archery range, but I still need to shoot. Lots of different dots on the target on many different sides. And then there's also some anatomically correct animals here as far as a deer, the vitals roughly, and of course the center section where the core lives. Overall, for 230 bucks is what these retail for, and I believe $89.99 for the core. After getting years literally of service out of this target butt, and I've left it out in the rain a few times, just really can't beat it in my opinion. I'm really, really happy with it. And to replace the core is pretty simple if you can get the tube out, because again, I've shot it several times. As you can see, lots of arrows have been shot into this thing, so hopefully I'm going to be able to pull it out because it just tore on me. It's right there, so hopefully I can get the rest out. So you're going to need some needle nose pliers if you're going to want to ever do this. Hopefully you don't punch yourself in the face as each piece breaks off. There. All right, so I got all of it out. And you can see I've got several hundred arrows that have gone through this thing. And I basically just shot it in half. So that is, part of the problem of these, and actually this one's cut nice and clean right here in the middle there. It's probably from a broadhead. And so yeah, it has some flaws as far as the locking system to lock these in. But once you get the actual tube out, you should be able to just knock the core right out of it. I don't know how many arrows I've got in this thing, but there's a lot of arrows in this core, and for the price point, you really can't beat replacing it. Now you'll see that this has a little bit of a knob here, a hump. That helps locate it and keep it from rotating, and that locates the actual pass-through area for the tube itself. So I'm going to set this aside, grab the new core, and you'll see you got the notch here and the notch here. You just line them up and slide them in. But because I tried to shoot this from just about the straightest angle possible, you'll see that the actual target itself, the edges of it, are not very torn up at all, because the way I tried to shoot this thing was straight into the core. So I didn't tear up the actual target itself. I didn't shoot through the core diagonally into it. I tried to get arrows straight into it to make it last longer. So that way replacing the actual core itself would be a much easier process. So all I do is line up the actual marks, slide it together, and it's basically perfect depth. It's not sticking out of either side. Take the tube, and hopefully it'll line right up. Yep, line right up, and it locks right in place. So now I'm going to pull this out like so. Cut the tube. I'm going to set this tube aside in case I ever need another one. All right, now it's pushed back in. I got the tube sticking out just a little bit. And then we'll see the core is pretty much locked in. It will keep walking itself out if you're shooting it from the wrong direction. It's definitely a good idea to shoot it from the side that has the little notch on it, because it's actually tapered slightly and it won't push out that direction very easily. So on mine, the opposite side of the handle is the side to shoot from. Now that I've swapped in a new core, I'm going to shoot another arrow into this with the same exact bow, and we'll see if it's still easy to pull out of. So it definitely didn't stick in as far. Use my right hand, hold the core in, and it comes out like nothing. Once it starts moving, it comes out like butter. Rinehart targets are by far the best targets I've ever shot into as far as ease of pulling and longevity. There's a lot of targets out there that are very easy to pull arrows out of but do not last at all. And there's also a lot of targets out there that are forever lasting but impossible to pull arrows out from. If you know what I'm talking about, you know a few of the targets out there that takes multiple grown men to pull arrows out of. So I believe that this target is absolutely worth it. Rinehart targets are absolutely worth it. They're a little bit more spendy up front, but they last a lot longer. Arrows go into them quieter. They come out of them easier. They last longer. You can easily replace the cores. And I have a FIDA wave, a Rinehart wave out there that has been out in the sun, in the Florida sun and Florida heat, uncovered, completely just bare in the elements since 2014, 2013, same time frame as this, and the thing is working fine just to this day. I've worn out a couple of the cores, just like this one, swapped them out, but the target itself is lasting and is just fine. So if you're looking for a blank bale, if you're looking for a small bale that you can easily shoot arrows into, if you're looking for a bale that maybe you want to travel with from time to time, this is definitely something I'd recommend. And if you're interested in this target or the core, I will have links in the description below. This is the original Rhinoblock, which is the 16-inch one. There's the Rhinoblock XL, which is 18 inches, but they both use the same exact core. So I really like it. If you're looking for a target, I'd pick you up one of these. Hey, if you like this video, consider sharing it, hitting that notification bell down below. Genuinely, those things help this channel grow. I don't operate any other social media, and I rely on you to help spread the word. And also, please consider supporting this channel. There's many different links in the description below. I can't thank my supporters enough. I wouldn't be able to produce this content for free for archers around the world to enjoy, at least not to this level without you. So thanks.